Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna wait a few minutes while everybody joins. Welcome. So my name is Elena Gosalvez Blanco, and I am the director here at Yale Young Global Scholars. And I'm very excited to be here talking to you. And thank you so much, Sydney, for organizing this event. And I also want to thank Aaron, one of our alumni that did our program this past summer. And he's here with us as well. And he's also going to talk to you a little bit about his experience. So what I would like to do today, first of all, thank you for joining us. I know time is limited and you guys are probably very busy with your school day and have a lot of homework and all of that good stuff. So thank you for taking the time to join this presentation. Today I really want to tell you a little bit more about what Yale Young Global Scholars is and why you might want to consider an opportunity like this for this coming summer 2024. And then I will open it up and ask a few questions to Aaron, and then we will both open it up to questions from you guys. So hopefully if we don't answer whatever you need to know, you will have an opportunity to ask it via the Q&A button. So YYGS, Yale Young Global Scholars, for those of you that might have never heard about it, is the only pre-college program that runs at Yale University and is actually run by Yale. So I work for Yale directly year-round in New Haven, and so does my entire team. And our professors are Yale professors, and we also hire instructors who are Yale undergrad and grad students. And also we hire some instructors from other universities all around the country. This is a little bit about our logistics information. I know there will be other seminars that will go more in detail about our academic offerings and our admissions process. But I just wanted to give you kind of like an overview of when you could come to YYGS in summer 2024 and the 4 academic tracks we offer. So YYGS is a 2-week program. So these are the 3 sessions or dates where you could come. You only come one time and one time only. I know a lot of students and alumni actually ask if they can come again or if they can do session 1 and session 2 because they like it so much. But we really want to spread the gift of YYGS and the opportunity. So you will only be able to come for 2 weeks. However, when you apply, you will be given the option to choose which of these dates works better for you. And some students might only have availability in one of them. Other students really don't care and can do the 3 of them. So you will let us know when you apply. And same with academic tracks. We have these very 4 general, right? They're tracks, right? So they're general STEM, general humanities, general social sciences, and general cross-disciplinary. And they have those titles that you see: innovations in science and technology, literature, philosophy and culture, solving global challenges, and politics, law, and economics. And you will get exposed to all of these disciplines within the track. And the students, again, will get to choose which one they want to do. They can only do one. I know some of you might like 2 or 3 of them, so you can rank them in order of preference. Some students really know, okay, I really only want to do literature, philosophy, and culture because that's my passion. Other students actually want to explore something new. Maybe you really are social sciences person, but this summer you want to explore STEM or the other way around, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to be an expert or very experienced in these tracks. Some students are also exploring. So that's kind of like the gist of what we do. Something that is very special about YYGS is that we are not a summer school or summer classes. We're really like a conference. I always describe it more like a conference of like-minded peers from 150 countries and all US states and territories. So essentially the most diverse environment you're ever going to encounter. There's nothing like it at the university level, school level. We're even more diverse than the UWC schools. So this is like a unique once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be in such a diverse space. And the academics are actually lectures and seminars, and you kind of choose your own adventure. So you will get to mingle with the students that have similar curiosity or similar expertise to you. So our goals at YYGS are very concrete and, like I said, very unique. And so we're very, very different from any other program that you might encounter. So first of all, we want global diversity. And like I said, we're very lucky to have it with 150 countries and all US states. We are also here for academic enrichment, which means we do not give grades or credit or anything like that, right? Our students come to learn for the love of learning and hang out and learn from each other for the enrichment opportunity that is, not for grades or credit. We really are seeking exposure, right? Maybe you love economics, but you've never been exposed to law and politics, or maybe you love physics, but we really want to expose you to biology and computer programming, right? So we want to expose you, and we want to expose you to each other. Again, it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be in the presence of people that have come from all over the world, to be together. They're all your age. You guys will have a lot in common, but also a lot of difference, right? So that is very important at your age to be exposed to different ways of life. We, of course, this is a pre-college program. We want to help you experience independence, particularly post-pandemic. I know we've all been a little bit more protected and spend more time at home than we would have liked to. So we really want you guys to build your independence before you go to university. And that also connects with identity formation. This is a very important age to kind of like become independent individuals and form who you are and kind of like engage in conversation with others about this. And we want to give you this very unique experience. Like I said, it's only 2 weeks, but they're very, very intense. So it will definitely feel like a lot more than 2 weeks. And to the point that you become part of our community. Our alumni, I think Aaron will speak to this later, are very close and stay connected for years to come in a way that it doesn't seem they were with us for 2 weeks. It seems they were with us for more than 4 years sometimes, because this is a very intense experience. So it creates this bonding. And we are very proud that our alums have this huge sense of belonging and pride in being YYGS alums. It is kind of like an honor because it is extremely difficult to get in. So it is an honor to be a YYGS alum. So if you manage to come to the program, to join this community, it's something that you will be very proud. We, of course, also grant you access to Yale professors. They will be your lecturers. They actually, some of the most important Yale professors lecture for us, and they always tell me how amazing you guys are, the questions that you ask, and how much fun it is to lecture, how active you are. And they actually do not change the lectures. They're basically going to give you the same lecture they give the Yale undergrads. So it is challenging material, and you still manage to really impress them. And also being mentored, taught by grad and undergrad students, that is kind of our like specialty, because we feel at your age is very important to have not just the big professor up on stage, right? But someone that is slightly older than you, but that is already in university and is already doing great things, is already passionate about whatever they're studying, and they get to share that with you. With this, we see that our students really build confidence. They feel more prepared for college. One, because they will have spent 2 weeks living in an Ivy League school with the positives and negatives, right? They're having to share a room, having to rush to the shower, having to enjoy the amazing food, which Yale has really good food, and also exploring the campus and all the facilities on campus and the town of New Haven, which definitely has a lot of bubble tea and ice cream and fun things to do that are, and obviously great New Haven pizza that our students really find very quickly and enjoy for the 2 weeks. So I want to explain a little bit about the Yale residential colleges, because this is what, in addition to our uniqueness of being like a conference, our other very unique thing are the residential colleges at Yale, which for some of you that might not know, at Yale is basically, it's the British model from Oxford and Cambridge. And the students live in these small kind of like gated little quads like you see in this picture, where your bedroom and bathroom, but also your dining hall and some of the classes will actually be in this contained residential college. So in YYGS, we will have a total of 600 students at a time, and we house them in 3 residential colleges. Pearson, which these are some pictures of actually our students hanging out in Pearson, and Davenport are the ones that we know for a fact that we're again going to use. We always use these two because they're connected, so they really allow our students. And then we also use one of the smaller ones that is adjacent to this. But just so you get an idea, this is what a residential college looks like. It looks a little bit like Harry Potter, Gothic style, and it is very cozy and very much like a home away from home. Our rooms are typically doubles. We have the way they're set up at Yale is with suites. So there's typically a little living room of sorts with rooms coming out, and those rooms typically have 2 beds. Some students really want a roommate, some students really don't want a roommate. But in general, we say unless you have a strong preference or a health concern or something like that, I advise, and as a mom too, like just let destiny decide for you, and maybe you will end up with a single room, which might have some benefits like some privacy and a place to like run away to and rest. But also if you get a roommate, it might be like your best friend forever, right? So it's a good, whatever happens, I think will have positives. And we try to set roommates in a way that they're different people, right? Like we try to set you with someone from at least another country or another state, that sort of thing. We do have gendered housing, even obviously at Yale for the university students, they don't. We do have a male and female cases. And then we also have the option for those that requested for non-binary housing as well. So that is basically the gist. Then the most important thing is food, like I've already mentioned. Our dining halls are serving the same food that the Yale students eat. We have like farm to table stuff, a lot of options, a lot of good stuff. You basically always have a salad bar and a sandwich bar and soup and different options in the hotline, including the typical hits like hamburgers or Mexican food and things like that, or pasta, but also all kinds of international food. We cater to every food allergy or dietary restriction. And this is something that we take very seriously, and we will make sure that we accommodate it. And of course, some of our students, like I said, might want to go grab pizza or an ice cream, and that is, of course, up to you. But in general, I do see students do take advantage of our wonderful dining hall for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because the food is really good. And we even have ice cream and delicious desserts and things like that. And also, it's a good place to hang out with your friends. We also have something that we call special meals, in which we organize groups of staff members that might have a passion for a topic. We'll offer you to sit in a table with them and eat your lunch or your dinner while talking about whatever that is, right? We have topics like women in STEM or first gen. Last summer, we had a Harvard and Yale table where we had instructors that attend Yale and instructors that attend Harvard, telling you a little bit about the differences and similarities. We have like cat lovers or beekeepers, so very diverse type of groups. So that's another opportunity to socialize. And this is a picture of our dining hall with actually, again, with our students in it. The academics, while I don't want to get too much into it, I do want to tell you that the lectures happen in the lecture halls at Yale. For example, our STEM lectures last year happened in the main STEM lecture hall that Yale students use. Same with the other academic tracks. And then the seminars happen in these small seminar rooms that have usually like a harness style large table. So a group of 5, 6, 10, 12, 15 students sit around this table. and engage in their seminar. You do get to walk around a lot through campus and find the different buildings, and sometimes it's possible to get lost, although now, thanks to the phone, I have to say that our students tend to find their way around. And like I said, you get to experience what it is to be a university student, and sometimes you have to eat your breakfast and walk 15 minutes in one direction, and then walk 10 minutes in another direction, and then walk 3 minutes to have lunch, and so on. Like I said, we have lecturers that are Yale professors, and we have a Yale undergrad and grad students that teach our seminars. And we also, more and more, we start to invite students from other universities to teach our seminars, because we find it's very enriching for our students to also learn about different universities. And actually, the instructors love it because they create a community of students from different universities, not just from Yale. But more than half of our instructors are Yale grad and undergrad students. So this is what the classroom, one of the classrooms looks like, and this is one of the lecture halls, just for reference. And this is one of the seminar rooms. They're all different. This is the thing at Yale. We have so many buildings with so many different. During free time, well, maybe Aaron can speak to this a lot, but there's very little free time in YYGS, I'll be honest. We keep you busy. We even have components on the Saturday and Sunday. But we do give you freedom, right, to walk around town. And we do have you do have times where you have to be checking in and stuff like that. So you have to be responsible and not go really far away. And we also have boundaries of where you can go. But we do give you enough time to go grab an ice cream or a bubble tea or a coffee with a friend and stuff like that. We do not have excursion trips during the weekends or anything like that. For students that come from far away, we always say, if you want to explore New York or Boston, we're really close to both. Come the weekend before or stay for a few days after and do that exploring on your own, maybe with your family or with relatives or friends. Because during YYGS, there won't be time to like catch a train to New York City or anything like that, because we keep you very, very busy. Students will spend most of their free time hanging out in our amazing quads, playing soccer or playing with frisbees or with volleyball or lawn games or sitting down and chatting. It is just really nice in there, and it's cooler. We also have indoor spaces where they can play games. We have also game rooms. Some students take the opportunity to go to libraries and museums on campus, like the Beinecke and the Peabody, which hopefully is going to be open next summer, and things like that. So, and this is one of my favorite places on campus, the art gallery. I really, really love it. We take your safety very serious, so we will have a staff that will be able to take care of you, like on your health. And if you take daily medication, you will have to keep it in your room and administer it yourself, but we will have a health office that will be able to give you things like Advil or Benadryl or Band-Aids or sanitary products. And they will also be able to assess, like if you have a cut, they'll be able to help you to clean it. And also, if you have a major concern and we need to take you to the emergency room, we will also obviously do that. I mentioned quickly, we do have boundaries, so you're not allowed to just walk off on your own, even if you're trying to go to a hospital or something. We have very clear boundaries of where to go, and this is mostly because of distance. It's very easy to start walking. Maybe you're looking for for a new bubble tea place, and you start walking, and you don't realize that you're gonna take forever to come back to campus and be late for your next component. So we really want to keep you close. There's a lot to do within like reasonable distance from campus and from our dorms and residential colleges. So that's why we have boundaries. We also have a COVID-19 safety plan. I know that now it feels like COVID is over, and it's hopefully going to be 100% over soon, but still the university has certain protocols that we have to follow because we are part of the university. So that's something that I always like to share in case you or your parents are curious. We do still have protocols in place, things like requiring vaccination and having rules if a student as of right now, if a student were to get COVID, there's still some isolation protocols, which might actually go away by the time it's June again. I also want to point out our schedule. It's already in our website, so you can always look at it and see exactly how busy your day is going to be, your time is going to be. And I know students, this is obviously tentative and sometimes we tweak it, but I think this is a good kind of like look at what exactly you will be doing and how these 2 weeks will be really intense. So this is in essence what we offer here at YYGS. So I would say a lot of good conversations, a lot of engagement. We have something that we call family time, which is a group of students, typically around 10 or 12, that we create into a family that will meet every day and with an instructor and will engage in social emotional learning, games, activities, kind of getting to know each other type of things. And they actually really bond and they get the benefit of learning about other countries and other cultures, other ways of life, even within this country. And that is a very unique thing we offer. And then, of course, we give you a taste of living in an Ivy League school for 2 weeks and being just like a student and being facilities. And even Handsome Dan came to campus a couple of times last summer. So we really give you a taste of what being a Yale would be like. I am going to leave this slide because this slide has our email where we can always answer questions, and also it has our website where you can find obviously the application, and our application is actually due January 10th. So time is of the essence. If this is something you would like to do, I would really encourage you to go to the website, learn more about the academic offerings, and take a look at the application. And there are lots of webinars about the application process, so I don't want to get into that right now. But it is like a mini college application, so it's good practice for that. You will get to write some essays and send us some basic information about yourself and a transcript. And one teacher will have to do a short recommendation form. And then you basically submit. We do have need-based financial aid, which I think is very important to mention because most programs like these, most pre-college programs in the US are actually have very limited or no financial aid. And the ones that do only have it for US citizens. We have it for everyone, and we're very lucky to give over $3 million each summer in financial aid, which really helps us be a truly diverse community where we invite everyone that should join us regardless of their economic situation. So that is very enrichment, and obviously it helps us have students from all over the world as well. So, but anyway, that's the website where you can find all of that information. And also it has links, which I will post later, to our YouTube channel and our social media, because I know that I can talk all day, but you guys should actually listen to your peers that have actually experienced the program. That's why we have our alumni run our social media. We even have a TikTok account that I hear is very fun. I haven't really looked at it much, but I've been told it's very fun. And the Instagram and the YouTube channel has really impressive videos where you actually get to see what it is to experience our program. So I really encourage you to check those out. But we're very lucky today that we have Aaron with us. And I want to start asking you, what would you say was the most important thing you got out of YYGS?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks so much, Miss Elena. And hello, everyone. My name is Aaron George. So yeah, I'm currently a high school junior in Austin, Texas, and I'm an alumni of the 2023 YYGS program. I did the innovation in science and technology track at YYGS, and it truly, after looking upon it now, it truly exceeded my expectations. Coming into YYGS, this is my first time actually out of the house and living on any sort of university campus, especially out of state. So I guess you did ask me about kind of what was the most kind of the biggest thing I took away, right? What was my most important finding there? So I guess it's when I reflect on my time at Yale, I find that YYGS, the program offers just more than academic enrichment. I would say that it fosters a sense of global community, right? It connects these like-minded individuals, passionate about science and technology, and it's keep in mind that it's so diverse, right? We have I met at my time there. I met a new person from a new country every single day, and the friendships forged there and the cultural exchange between my peers and the other participants from around the world were truly enriching for me. And yes, so the friendships formed are kind of the biggest thing. Even as an alumni, I still talk to a lot of the peers that I met there, especially in not only in my roommates, but those in other tracks around me as well. So I still talk to them today, and we all reminisce on our experience at YOGS. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Excellent. So what was your favorite thing about it? Like what do you remember most fondly, or what, I don't know, if some special memories that you have?
Yes, so I guess a special memory that I have, aside from living in the very iconic Yale campus, and having that flexibility of stepping into a college student's shoes, a Yale student's shoes, going to having a packed day full of classes, courses, time to spend with friends, and some free time. I guess a big thing that I remember was my capstone project. So I guess for those listening here, it in your track, so if you do the STEM track, if you do the politics track, the government, you would have to present a capstone project. So I guess your instructors would put you into small groups of about 5 to 6 to even 8 students, where you kind of do a research on a pressing topic that's currently available, that's currently out there today, and you try to find a solution, right? So in the IST track, in the STEM track, we took up a neuroscience issue, and we actually found we did a sort of a mock clinical trial on a research that we came up with. So in my group of 5 to 6 students, a fun fact was every single person in my group was from a different country. So it was very interesting. Everybody had their own way of thinking, their own style of going about things. It was very interesting to exchange ideas off them, bounce ideas off, and we ended up presenting that project, that research, to the rest of the innovations in science and technology track students, and we received lots of great feedback. We received mentoring from our instructors, who were actually grad students at Yale, and I guess some Yale faculty were there to watch the presentations as well. So I do remember the capstone project as being one of the most memorable things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. We also have a symposium in the weekend that is completely different depending on the academic track. Like the humanities track will do a film festival, while the politics, law, and economics do a whole world crisis simulation, where basically the instructors bombard the different committees and different roles of students with all these situations that they have to solve. For STEM, it was some kind of poster symposium, right? Like you guys had to present. Tell us a
Yes.
bit about the symposium for IST.
Right, yes. And I guess another big thing is that student engagement is really there at YYGS. I know we had these student showcases, right? So if you're an avid speaker applying to YYGS, there we have something called the student showcase, where I guess it's 2 days, where if you want to present any topic, it could be any topic of your interest, something you're very passionate about speaking of. You could sign up and present to the rest of YYGS peers. So when I was there, we had topics ranging from, I guess, the use of TikTok and to nuclear crises. It was very, very interesting, especially to hear it from students of my age, across the country, across the globe.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have that, we call that speaker series, which is like mini TED Talks. And then we also have the showcase, which is more like a talent show. So then students will get to do a TED Talk, but some students will get to dance or sing or show magic tricks. It's actually also very fun to have the students showcase the different things they can do. Yeah, and for SGC solving global challenges, they do this whole thing where they come up with countries and flags for their countries and policies for their country. So yeah, there's a lot of creativity and a lot of student-centered learning, like Aaron was saying. So, and how was actually the day-to-day life in the residential college?
Yes,
The
yeah. If
rooms, the food, all of that.
Right. Yeah. So if I would kind of describe it, I would say that every hour of your day is filled with something, whether that be fun or going to a course, right? So I guess from check-in, the day I checked in, I, went to the room. I was in a double. So I shared, that one room was shared by two people. Yeah, like Miss Elena said in the presentation, I actually go really close to my roommate. He was from California. I also grew close to the other students in my suite as well. But yeah, we have the single or the double suites. That check-in day is very it's very unforgettable. Meeting so many new people, going to that first that initiation, that I guess that first meeting, right, where your residential staff kind of talks to you about what your time at YYGS is going to look like. We had some fun activities that day. But I guess during the actual, I guess those 2 weeks, waking up, to the Yale campus, I had time in the morning to, quickly run to Starbucks or run to Pearson or Davenport College to grab a quick bite to eat, and then and then after that it was walking, right? It was a lot of walking to a different college to attend courses, and then family time, and then going to lunch. One of the things I liked about Yale was not only enjoying Yale's food at the dorms, but also having the leisure to go out to a restaurant within the boundary. I know we went to a lot of the pizza places close by campus with a lot of my friends there. And yeah, I guess I had a strict schedule with YYGS. Although it's extremely fun, it's extremely rigorous and challenging. It gives you truly a glimpse as to how Yale life is like if you're really a college student there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks. And it is full disclosure, it does get hot sometimes.
Yes.
And then maybe Aaron doesn't mind that much because he's from Texas.
Yes.
But and we do have some air-conditioned spaces, but the rooms, for example, are not air-conditioned. So we provide some fans, or students bring their own fans. But I do wanna, I know it becomes like a bonding experience sometimes when there's a really hot night, but hopefully there's enough air conditioning in the dining halls and the classrooms. So
Yes.
how was your experience with the heat?
Yeah, with the heat, it was I mean, here in Texas it's pretty hot, but I guess the only challenge was the non-air conditioned spaces. But we all bought fans. We laughed over the heat, and at nighttime when you open the windows and sleep, there's good nets bringing cool air. In the morning it got pretty cold though, and that kind of was a sense of relief. It kind of cooled the whole suite. But it was fun through all of it.
Um, Excellent. So you said that you're still in touch with the students that you met in YYGS, and
Yes.
just tell us a little bit about that. Like, what kind of engagement is that, and how does it feel like? Because I think that's the hardest thing for prospective applicants to understand, is how can you bond in such a short time with such
Yes,
diverse
exactly.
people? Yeah.
Yeah, and one of my fears when coming into a program like YYGS was, what are people going to think of me? It's going to be it's such distant, right, from home. I live in Texas, going to a program in Connecticut, right? And I don't have that face-to-face connection with my family. My parents are back home and everything. But yeah, so I'd like to say the first moment when I walked into my suite during that check-in day where all my roommates were already there. I've immediately felt that connection, because everybody who's in the IST track, or everybody who's in the government track, everybody shares the same passions, right? They want to grow. They're not doing this program just to get college credit. They're not doing it, just to smack it on something, right? They're doing it for the fun of learning, and that's the first thing I recognize from my peers. So I had a very warm welcome from my roommates and those in the same floor as me and the same stairwell. Some nights, we went out to the Jonathan Edwards is where I stayed, the Jonathan Edwards dorm, and every dorm has this basement area where there's a pool table, there's fun games and whatnot. So we had we had, a lot of people from other dorms come into our basement, and we all shared games and everything. But yeah, no, it actually gets really hard leaving because you're missing you've grown so close to your roommates, and over those 2 weeks, and you share the same interests, but you have that fear of never seeing them again. So it's we all stayed in touch, and I still talk to them to this day, and we'll grow. They're lifelong friends, right? You make lifelong friends at YYGS. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's great that you say that, and I hear that a lot, like how finding people that are similar to you. It's a very inclusive and accepting environment. We work really hard because, of course, everybody that attends YYGS is very curious about living with people that are different, but also that it can be very difficult, right? Because you might experience, oh, I've never seen whatever thing you're doing or whatever thing you're saying. I've never experienced that. So it's easy to sometimes be disrespectful without even noticing. So we work really hard at kind of helping our students understand each other and respect each other and learn that there are many ways to do things, and that many points of view, many backgrounds, many religions, many languages, but like Aaron says, there's this commonality that these students are there for the right reasons. And that's the strong bond, I think.
Right. Yes. Yeah. No. One of my roommates was from Egypt, actually, and it's a learning. It's truly a learning experience. Bouncing different cultural ideas off of each other. And I know our roommate from Egypt. He taught us a lot about Egyptian culture. Showed us some pictures, and all of us in the roommate were. All of the other roommates were coincidentally from the United States, but he told us stories about his time in Egypt, how the schooling system works there, and how this was his first time in the United States, and how we liked it. And we kind of educated him about the United States, and we grew really close to each other. So that cultural exchange is extremely vital in this program. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and if anybody wants to ask any questions, please again feel free to type them in the chat. And but while you think of them or type them, what would you say to students that are thinking about, I know you guys have so much on your plates, and high achieving students, right? They have a lot of tests, papers, things to do, and like to think about, oh, I have to do this application and I probably won't get in because these other people will get in, not me. What would you tell people that are kind of thinking about it but don't quite know if they should apply or not?
Exactly. Yeah. So, there's always that hint of, I guess, hesitance, right? So when you apply to programs like this, but I would say hit the ground running with the application. There's a very high chance you would get in if you're passionate about what you want to do, and if you're passionate that YYGS would move you in the right direction, open new doors for you, kind of give you that glimpse into student life at Yale, and give you a glimpse into the industry that you're going into. If you're really passionate about STEM, if you're really passionate about politics or government or solving global challenges, I would really recommend you to apply. Even the application is a great learning process, right? It's essentially a mock college application into Yale. So writing my essays, I was able to display my passion. Writing my essays, and listing my accomplishments and everything, kind of showing why I really want to go to YYGS. So if you're hesitant to apply, I mean, please drop that and hit the ground running with the application. I think it'll be really worth it if you once you're accepted and do the program. I know there were a lot of questions when I applied, and those questions were immediately dropped when I first walked into campus. It was so welcoming, it was so diverse. And again, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I guess if you're out of high school, that's kind of it. You can't really go back. So yeah, I would say apply. It's really it's an outstanding opportunity. Again, once in a lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in general, it's great to open doors, right? Because maybe you might get an offer from us, and then maybe you have other plans. So by the time you get the offer, you can always decline our offer. But if you don't try, if you don't apply, you will not get in for sure, right?
Exactly, right.
So you have nothing to lose and a lot to gain. And yeah, we hear that a lot, that our alumni tell us that the essays that they wrote, because we come up with different questions every year, and they're kind of very original and fun to write, our students say. and I always remind them to save them because they always get recycled for college applications because
Yes,
we
of
kind of
course.
ask you very poignant things about yourselves. So yeah, how many alums have told me that they recycle some of the topics because we really made them think hard about who they are? Because that's the other thing. You don't need to have perfect grades. I know in this call, probably you all do, but you don't have to be perfect at everything. We really are looking for that curiosity and that we just really want to get to know you. We don't take standardized test scores, for example, which I know it's unique sometimes in this environment, but we really want to get to know you, and those essays that we think through very carefully um, really give us like a picture of who you are, and yeah, hold on to them because you will reuse them.
Exactly, yes.
So we don't have any questions, and I'm wondering if you have something else that maybe we have forgotten or that you would like to add that maybe we haven't said yet.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think back here. I guess one thing that I'd probably like to bring up is the lectures. I know those are really memorable for my time there. So for those watching online, we have I guess if you looked at that schedule posted on the YYGS website and in the slide deck as well, the schedule has this time where there's a lecture kind of in the beginning of the day. So this is where all the students in your track, so if you're going that STEM track, whatnot, we go to this special lecture hall, and these are lecture halls used by actual, Yale pre-medical students or Yale STEM students and whatnot. In these, we sit down, and the person lecturing us is extremely influential, right? They're a leader in various industries. I remember we had a gentleman talk to us who was one of the key founders of a robotic device that helped children with disabilities learn and grow, and he had these I guess firsthand results of how many students he's helped. And he is actually part of the Yale faculty as well. And we've had those with affiliation from NASA come in and talk about astronomy. I'm trying to think here. We had I guess, a gentleman came in and he spoke about, I guess, natural sciences, and how I guess he was a park ranger, and then now he grew to be a researcher and whatnot, and he found his love for nature and everything. So ultimately, I think I remember it made a major takeaway from all those lectures was to explore new things. And I think that's what Yale YYGS is about, right? You asked me that question about, if you're hesitant to apply. I'd say, applying is great as it helps you learn and explore these new things. YYGS taught me so much and gave me such a memorable experience that I'm never going to forget, 30 years down the road. So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I want to touch on those lectures. Trying to see what else, but
Yeah, thank you for mentioning the lectures. Yeah, we
yeah.
also so the lectures are kind of a surprise. Our program managers will curate the 5 lectures that you're gonna get, and sometimes they vary from session to session. So it's kind of with other lectures we've had in the sciences would be like about artificial intelligence. We have this very interesting lecture from professor in the School of Music that actually has helped nurses diagnose diseases hearing like noises from the heart and the bowels and stuff. So super interesting, kind of like cross-disciplinary stuff. Yeah, we you can actually see sample lecture titles in our website if you're interested in one of the tracks. But yeah, and then the other special thing is that after each lecture, the group of students, which is actually the family time group, will have what we call a breakout session in which the students will discuss the lecture with instructor. And that we hear is very helpful because sometimes these lectures are not simple and students might have questions, and that's like kind of like a safe space to say, hey, I didn't understand anything. Can you guys help me? Or, oh, I actually really agree with this, or I was actually very confused by this, or I actually do not agree with this, or I do not understand why this was mentioned. And the students get to kind of like digest the lecture together, which is, again, another skill that you will need for university, wherever you
Right.
go, right?
Yes, and you did mention that these lectures are not toned down for high school students. They're like the raw lectures that they give to grad and undergrad students, and those lecture topics are really challenging. I remember there was the astronomy topic about kind of the intricacies of nebula in space, and a lot of us students were awestruck by the topics. It was so immense. There was so much research behind it, and yeah, those family time breakout sessions really helped us discuss the lecture and kind of break it down.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also that exposure factor that sometimes the students come to us thinking they know they're going to do biomedical engineering, and then they go to this lecture in physics, or they think they're going to be a lawyer, and they go to this lecture in like macroeconomics or something, and they actually then like, oh, maybe because you guys are very young, right? And I understand you already have your passion. Some of you don't, and this is a great way to explore. Okay, I think I like social sciences, but I'm not sure what, or solving global challenges, which is very special because it's multidisciplinary. So you might get
Yeah.
a lecture in science and a lecture in social sciences and a lecture in humanities. So yeah, so it's definitely a very unique opportunity. I think we are coming to the end of our time. And again, I don't see any questions. I don't know if we just did a great job and we answered everything, or people are being a little shy. But yeah, I just again want to encourage you to check our website. Again, you can email us if questions do come up after you've done more exploring. Again, you can engage with our alumni in social media and watch the incredible content that they put out there. There are some, I mean, I debated whether to take this time to play a video, but I know you all can go to YouTube and watch the videos in your own time, and there are many, and they're very fun, and our students are very talented. And like your generation amazes me in how good you guys are with the whole video producing
Yes.
thing. You
Yeah.
do
Very
it like
good.
it's nothing.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So with that, I'll just, again, thank you for your time. I'm sure everybody has a lot to do for the school day, and hopefully you'll have a great rest of your week and end of the academic year of this year 2023, and you will find some time to look at the application and apply. Again, the application is due January 10th. So we are at the very end. Our application is very early, way earlier than other summer programs. And the reason for that is that it is very complicated to select students from 150 countries and actually bring them to New Haven. So we need a little bit extra time. That's why our process is earlier. But I know our students really like that too, because you will hear if you're coming by March 10th, and then you can kind of plan your summer around us, decide if you're coming or not, when you're coming, get your travel, and decide what other things you might be doing. Some of our students have jobs or family responsibilities, or some of our students want to do other classes or sports programs or anything like that. So with that, again, thank you so much. And thank you so, so much, Aaron, for your time.
Thank you so much, Ms. Elena, for your time. Yeah, really recommend everyone to begin the application process here. It's January 10th is a deadline, so truly life-changing experience.
Great. And thank you. And again, feel free. We are pretty quick responding to the questions in our inbox. And also our website should probably answer all your questions. But yeah, thank you. And I hope to see many of you, or at least some of you, around our residential colleges this coming summer. Take care and have a good rest of your day, everyone.